this is one of the most illegal shoes on the planet, but it's also the fastest shoe ever made, breaking one of the wildest world records in history. It's called the Adidas Prime X Evo, and it is in every way possible absolutely ridiculous. Right, bud? Well, take this mic so we can hear you. You might want to take a seat for this one. Right, we have taken a look at a lot of illegal shoes in our time, right? This is the craziest one we have ever done.
I don't think you could get crazier than the Pumas.
Oh, trust me, buddy. I honestly, so I've ran in these, and all I gotta say is, it's about to get dangerous, bruh. It is dangerous. Let me just remind you, this is what a normal running shoe looks like, okay? Oh.
Woo! Holy! They made these for not just the runners, but the short king runners. That's ridiculous.
$500? What do you think?
500? But why? Why would this cost 500?
Man, just when I thought shoes couldn't get any crazier, these popped up. Honestly, it almost seems comical at this point. How much foam can a pair of shoes actually handle before it just turns into walking on literal stilts? I mean, this is definitely the closest I've seen to stilts. But even though the max cushion trend is still very much in play, I just cannot see it getting much crazier than these. So, when I said that this shoe was crazy in absolutely every way possible, I meant it. This shoe was created for one single purpose, and that was to break a world record. They made this as like a shoe for a select group of athletes to try and become the first person on the planet to run 100 kilometers in under 6 hours.
Okay.
Guess who did it? A South African.
Really?
Sibusiso.
Bravos!
Adidas made this pair of shoes for the athletes who were going to attempt the sub 6 hour 100 kilometer race. Running 100 kilometers under 6 hours had never been achieved before these things came along. And yes, currently there is only one man on the planet who has successfully ran 100 kilometers in under 6 hours. And that is Sibusiso, who was wearing this pair of shoes. However, because he was wearing this pair of shoes, technically that world record doesn't count. And of course, that is because this pair of shoes is illegal and banned by the World Athletics Forum, all because of how insanely tall they are. In fact, the actual pairs of shoes that the runners were wearing during this 100K race were even crazier than these somehow. According to the stats, each runner had a custom pair of these made for them, specifically tailored to how they run. And those shoes had 60 millimeters of foam in the midfoot. The legal limit is 40 millimeters. Slip them on, see what you think.
Little caveat to this, I think I just need to mention it. I am fresh off the back of a rolled ankle. So you really are asking me to risk my life for this one.
And I don't think these are gonna help that.
Yo!
Will you be taller than me?
What up, Pee-wee down there?
Yo!
How's the weather? Huh?
A bit unsettling you being this tall. Essentially, what that would be like is two max cushion shoes stacked on top of each other. That's what it would kind of feel like running on 60 millimeters. Now, obviously, not taking anything away from the guys that ran that 100K. They all did incredibly well. Obviously, Sibusiso breaking the record, doing it in under 6 hours is insane. But yes, all of this is amazing marketing for Adidas and this shoe. For me, the craziest part is just how simple and staggeringly lightweight these things are. It is essentially a thick block, a giant wedge of foam with a tiny thin sleeve of upper on here. Now this block of foam is actually a new compound that Adidas is using. It's called a Lightstrike Pro Evo, not to be confused with Lightstrike Pro. It has a different feel. You can immediately tell in hand this is different to the stuff that they've been using, and it's a lot lighter and less dense, softer and extremely bouncy when compared to some of the latest models that Adidas have put out with the regular Lightstrike Pro. You actually get 70 millimeters of foam in terms of the stack. Now, that is just from the outside. What you're actually running on is 50 millimeters, which is just still mind-blowingly thick. And that 70 millimeters is why it looks so ankle-breakingly tall. Ready to hit the road? I'm in the Evos. He's in the Evo Prime X Optimus Prime. How we feeling, buddy?
Nah, dog. I do not feel safe in these. Like, no joke. This is not good.
Does it feel unstable?
It feels extremely unstable. Like, you have to have like a good running form for this to feel okay.
Oh, watch as we take a hill. Yes, even though this commercially available one is slightly less than the ones that the runners actually wore, it's still incredibly illegal at 50 millimeters. Now, despite this looking like just one solid block of foam, there is actually a plate in this midsole, which is a little bit different to what we've seen from other running shoes. Typically, a lot of brands on the market include a plastic or carbon fiber shank to give it a little bit more of a spring back when you're running, a little bit more energy return. But this one actually has a plastic ring going around the outside of the shoe, which is something I have never seen before. As of right now, plates in the midsole of shoes aren't illegal. If you have more than one, then it is. So this new plate ring idea, I guess, is still technically legal. I don't know if it would necessarily give you an edge over a regular carbon shank, but I imagine this ring is not just for the extra spring effect that you get when you're running in these, but also to give them a little bit more stability, which, yeah, these are definitely one of the most unstable shoes I have ever put on my feet. So do they feel like you'll roll your ankle?
Yeah. If you go like this, it's because they're so soft. Should we try, Scott?
What the hell was that?
It was both my ankles.
That sounded like a snap. One of the weirdest experiences I've ever had. I have felt things in this shoe I have never felt before. And I have tried pretty much all of the illegal shoes on the market, from the crazy Pumas to the insane Nike Vomero Premium, and those feel way more stable than these things do.
You know what? It literally feels like I'm on heels or something. And you have to be really gentle.
Yeah, when you go around a turn, it's like, oh.
I think if you get your like running form up and you're used to them, they're probably good.
Now, granted, the Vomero Premium does have a much wider profile, which, considering Nike was never making those to be super lightweight, they had a lot more areas to play around with and add more stability to. But these, obviously being so incredibly lightweight, they couldn't necessarily widen them out as much. And you definitely feel that. These are kind of hard to walk in. And I mean, that's a clear indicator that these were never meant to be walked in. I mean, they're definitely meant to be running. This is the most running shoe I have ever tried. But I'm sure it's not going to stop people from trying to just throw these things on and go for a little walk. So when you're running in these, going in a straight line is perfectly fine. But as soon as you try and take a little bit of a corner, that's when things start to feel a little bit more squirrely. We got a meaty turn coming up. Don't slow down, buddy. Take that turn. I want to see what happens. So when I did this route, one of the most standout things I found when I was running in these is just the aggressive pronation. I mean, even just standing in there, you feel like your ankle just wants to pronate inwards. Now, that aggressive pronation is not just from the actual shape of these things, although that does play a part, but I also think it's because of how soft this foam is. But yeah, you can even see the people who are running in this pair of shoes, they're aggressively pronating as they're running. And again, just never had a pair of shoes do it to this degree. What do you think? What are your general thoughts after your little loop?
I mean, but if you're not like an experienced runner, these are kind of cooked.
Yeah, so one thing I noticed when I was running was the aggressive pronation.
Yes!
You feel that?
Yeah, it's gonna tip me inwards.
But do you think you could break a world record in those?
I could get used to them.
Huh, okay.
I think so.
On the scale of illegalness, what do you think?
Right.
Out of all of the illegal shoes that we've done.
25 to life.
The outsole on this pair of shoes is also pretty interesting. It's kind of a dual setup where they're using two different compounds. They've got continental rubber and also light traction. It's two different types of outsole that Adidas has used on different running shoes. Evo SLs and stuff like that, they have all used continental, whereas one of the latest models from Adidas, the Hyper Boost, this is all light traction, so it's kind of a blend. Some other interesting details, I guess, would just be the fact that the upper is practically see-through, and in fact, it pretty much is. You put your foot in there, you can see right into your feet. It is so incredibly thin, and any little bit of padding that you get around the ankle area just kind of feels glued on. Again, this is trying to save as much weight as possible. In fact, if you look inside, there is no insole. They didn't add an extra insole in here. You are literally running on the Strobel board. On top of that, you also have an AMG logo in there, even though I don't think this is a Mercedes collaboration. They just threw that on there for some reason. And then you've got this nice little brake light on the back here. I think it's because the runners who were attempting the 100K race it was at nighttime, so they wanted something to make it look a little bit more visual. So they added it to this commercially available version. But yeah, overall, who the hell is this pair of shoes for? Why does it exist? And I'm talking about this pair of shoes, not the one that was made for the runners. Why does this commercially available version exist? Well, to be honest, I think running shoes, especially from Adidas, have just been kind of getting out of hand recently. To my knowledge, it all really started with the Pro Evo shoe that they made, that $500 pair that was only good for one marathon. I think they outright said that. You're gonna run one marathon and then they're cooked. They're no longer usable. I mean, who is buying that one-time use marathon $500 pair of shoes unless you're an elite athlete? And things have not settled down from there. In fact, it's gotten crazier. They just released a $1,000 pair of running shoes. And that to me is just like, what are we doing here? I mean, durability-wise, whether it's the $500 pair, this $500 pair, or the $1,000 pair, like durability-wise, they're not going to last that long. They're trying to shave as much weight off as possible, so you're getting this incredibly thin upper, and having this low of a density, it's not going to last very long either. So it's certainly not for your average runner. It's certainly not going to be, unless you have incredibly deep pockets. But what I will say is that it is incredibly impressive and just really interesting. I think the main answer to that question of why the hell does this pair of shoes exist, it exists as a concept. A lot of the technologies that they employ into this pair, like this crazy upper, the huge stack of midsole cushioning, those are going to trickle down to some of the more affordable and everyday options. I'm sure we're going to see this Lightstrike Pro Evo foam in a lot of the more just, you know, website ready Adidas shoes in the future. Maybe even that plastic ring that runs around, the design element. So yes, this is almost like a showcase of what Adidas is capable of in terms of their technology and cushioning and engineering to make these things somehow 160 grams for my size. That is nothing. Thoughts? Very illegal. Most of the things that I felt was instability. I mean, the place that I'm running is a lot of hills, a lot of turns, uphill, downhill, but these feel insane. Insanely soft. There is a bounce to them, but I think the main takeaway is just softness. I don't think I've felt a stack this big with this amount of softness at the same time. It's just essentially, if you ever try these things, it will be the craziest pair of shoes you ever try. But overall, one of the wildest experiences I have ever had in a pair of running shoes, and I'm sure things are going to get even crazier. We shall see. But in terms of all of the illegal shoes I've tried, I gotta say these things take the cake. Let me know your thoughts on these down in the comment section. And what do you think about Adidas running shoes just getting so outlandishly expensive? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And like always, I'm gonna leave another video in the top left-hand corner. Click on it to check it out.